What's up? Welcome back, Rich at Heart Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you are subscribed and you've liked the video. Leave a comment at any time during this video and let us know what you think. Chime in on the conversation. We love to hear people's opinions. So, yeah, are you guys doing good?
Yeah, I was just like getting over being sick.
Yeah.
Didn't you like see the memes that are going around? Like we about to be back inside, y'all. Like, between the monkeypox and the
oh, bro, the
COVID.
monkeypox. That shit I'm not trying to fuck with at all.
They declared a state of emergency, or what is it?
So California's declared a state of emergency because of it, because they have growing numbers of monkeypox, mostly in the San Francisco area, but New York and Manhattan Island, they declared a state of emergency, and so they have like, you know what I mean, different like rules and regulations going on right now because of monkeypox. So
Where did it even, like, when did that start? Like, because that was like a back in the day one. It's
Yeah.
like re-emerged. Like,
I've only heard of it this year.
yeah.
I only heard of it this year. Yeah.
No, monkeypox, because remember barbershop or beauty shop?
Oh, was it in that movie?
I think they said something.
Oh,
Maybe they're, they said something about like
shit.
monkeypox.
Well,
Kevin Bacon in that movie.
that was a good movie.
Yeah, I feel like it's an old disease that's
Really?
like
It's just re-emerged. People are just getting it. And
Yeah.
getting it
What I
now.
don't like is like, when they show images, they show like a lot of dark skinned people, like with
Yeah.
Right. That's what I said.
Oh yeah, yeah.
About.
What's that about? But I think like most of the cases were coming from like an area of the world where there was
Well,
dark skinned
they
people,
say-
right? And
they
then
said,
Are we saying black people?
They
I don't know if it was Indian people or
in Africa.
Oh, it was
But
Africa? Okay, I thought it was
it's
like
not like I don't think
India.
it started there. Yeah, we don't need to get into things because like just how like the Spaniards brought a bunch of like
smallpox and all that
smallpox and a
shit.
bunch of
Yeah,
So yeah, it was brought there, but yeah.
right. Okay.
But is this the first time y'all have heard of
Yeah,
monkeypox?
time.
The first time I heard of it, like
I feel like I've heard of monkeypox before. Like it was a thing. Like correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. Like because I'm not well versed on
Probably
monkeypox.
like 2 years ago, like around COVID or something, but like very recent.
Oh, we was already talking about monkeypox
No, like
then.
a year ago or something.
I was like, dang.
really?
Something like that, yeah, but not like way back then.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just heard about it this year, like with the more recent events
But
and
it's
shit.
not deadly. It's just cosmetic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's bad. If you
Yeah,
have it.
you got sores and shit like
Yeah,
that
it's
popping up on
probably
you, and
bad,
it's
but-
they say it lasts 2 to 4 weeks.
popping.
Can you imagine that? Yeah, 2 to 4 weeks of getting like bumps and shit all over you.
It's like a bad
God
case of
damn.
eczema.
I see like people posting like I ain't going around no new people, and I'm like I don't blame you because yeah.
No
And
new
then they
friends.
say that it's like mostly sexually transmitted too. I'm like,
Oh.
you better start. I don't even know. You better keep your rotation tight. All you
Yeah.
players out there, keep your fucking
Keep your
rotation
circle
tight.
tight.
You don't want to be fucking around catching that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that sounds hard because like, yeah, who could you really trust?
So I'm staying away from 25th Street.
Yeah. Stay away.
Monkeypox.
Oh, shit.
If it's gonna hit
rampant.
Ogden, if it's gonna hit Ogden, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be there first.
Nope. I swear off 25th Street, I ain't going there. Monkeypox and
Fuck that.
all kinds of shit. All kinds of things emerging at the Kokomo.
For those of you who don't know, okay, in Ogden we got like
Not
our
safe.
select bars and shit like that. Kokomo's like an infamous one. Crazy shit be going on at the Kokomo.
Stabbings.
Cheap drinks though.
That's why they're crazy.
True.
Yep. Shit's gonna pop off at the Kokomo. What is the other one?
Brewskis and Kokomo.
Brewskis too. Yeah, those are the staples. Those are like the staples of 25th Street. But historic sometimes.
Historic
some shit
20 yeah.
pops off at historic.
I don't think
Historic
I've
sketch.
discovered enough of 25th Street, but the one where it has all the Beatles memorabilia.
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
have some
City
strong-
Club.
They have some strong shots.
I love City Club.
Oh yeah, they have way
food.
good drinks and the wings
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
fire.
the wings was good.
Yeah.
Fire.
Like when people don't say when people say that the City Club wings are trash, like I can't even fuck with you. after that.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm like, what do you mean?
what do you mean?
Like,
What are you talking
what
about?
are you talking
Because they're a
about?
little small. To me, they taste more natural. Like they're smaller.
Yeah, they're
But,
not, like,
I
pumped
feel like
up.
people want that saltwater or GMO.
Yeah, they pump it full of all that shit.
No,
the
it's a
saline.
regular bird. Like, it's
Yeah,
a
it's just
regular ass bird.
Have you seen a regular bird? Like they're not that big.
But they give you a lot.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
the thing.
yeah, so you have and then
You got
like,
quantity
fries.
and quality.
Yeah, and strong drinks, so you like fucking shit up like left and right.
Yeah,
but yeah, like that's like always a good place to go if you don't like want to be like on the 25th Street scene. Like, you just want to go get a
Right.
drink.
It's chill.
Have some good,
Yeah.
like, good foods. Then you can go to the Kokomo. Or no. Don't go to Kokomo.
City Club. To City Club.
The City Club, because there ain't no food there.
We're just plugging these bars right now. So Salt Lake fans, people outside of Utah, you come to Ogden, go to 25th Street.
Yeah,
Oh, you're trying to kill everybody. Cool.
our cousin didn't know about Lucky Slices.
Oh, Lucky Slice?
Slices, I didn't really know.
Well,
about it too
it's
much
really
until, like,
only up here. Yes,
Yeah.
the only places I know where it's at is like 25th Street, Ogden.
Yeah.
They have one in Clearfield that's a border of Slayton, and then Logan has one too.
Yeah.
But out in Salt Lake, they have like it's like Lucky. No, that's something 13. Yeah, Lucky 13 pizza,
Yeah.
which is pretty much the same thing, like the same type of pizza, but just different menu. Like
And they have a food truck, too.
Lucky 13.
Lucky Slice.
Oh, Lucky Slice. Yeah,
yeah, they
they
have
do.
a food
yeah.
truck that is mobile.
Yeah, they got Tona. I think is some of the best sushi.
Yeah.
That's a great date night too.
I've never checked out the Italian place.
Oh, me neither.
I hear it's good.
I don't know.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me. On 25th Street,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of it right now, but that's.
I know what it
fire,
looks
too.
like, but I don't remember what
Particular
it's called.
about Italian food, so hopefully it is good. I don't
It's supposed to be like authentic and shit.
Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
if you like Olive Garden, you probably love this place because
Nah,
Oh, there's a new Italian place on Riverdale. It's called like Napoli's.
in Riverdale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's by where like the old Cafe Rio used to be.
oh,
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is it open? It's not open.
Oh,
It's
oh
open.
yeah, up there by the mall.
I ate there.
Ah,
Was it
okay.
good?
I don't know what I should say about.
I don't know what I should
You
say.
just have it wasn't good to me.
Oh, okay.
It
Well,
was kind of trash. But my friend, she lived in Vegas. I think she said that there's like a Napoli's there, and like
that's probably a common name and like an Italian name.
yeah,
Like,
Napoli's.
like if there's like 50 fucking Garcia's restaurants, like,
Damn.
but it's not the same
It's
chain.
not
You
the
know what I
same.
mean? Like,
No, it wasn't good. But like you guys, everybody should check it out themselves and see
Okay.
what they feel. Unless you're like really particular, like Roman, and maybe you won't like it. But and maybe it's what I got. Like maybe it was just like too basic. It was like the barissimo pasta. Don't get that.
Don't get
anyway,
that.
I don't know how we got here.
I judge it. I'll judge Italian places by like their fettuccine because I love fettuccine. If it's like it's got to be that perfect creamy though, like because you have some that's too watery and you're like, damn, they didn't put no fucking like whipping cream in this shit. You know, like you gotta have thick sauce. Like the sauce got to be like not too heavy, but like it's got to be consistent.
Gotta be good sauce.
Yeah.
There was one thing I ordered from Olive Garden that was so good, but I could never find it again.
Really?
Or unless they like.
You didn't ask them, or
I-
you don't remember the order? You
I
just
don't
like you
remember.
told them
Yeah.
order for me.
Well, I said I wanted something spicy.
Yeah.
Like the spicy marinara, but they don't have spicy marinara. But there's like
Oh.
a different type. I don't know. It was great that one time, but I could never replicate it. So I'm done with
You
it.
gotta find that waiter
So it wasn't on the menu.
off the menu
I
shit.
think he combined menus type of thing. So like, he
Oh,
said,
okay.
I'll give you the penne with the chicken and then this roast.
Huh.
So you just threw some shit together for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Just toss it up for you.
It was a combination. Maybe it was his own specialty thing
Yeah.
that he eats off the clock, and then
He just got like he went to the back and got a thing of ragu, spicy ragu, and you just put it on your shit and put it in the microwave real quick. He'll like it.
I only mess with Prego.
Me too. I like Prego.
Not
Yeah.
not ragu. Are y'all like, what do you guys prefer, like Prego over ragu? Like, let us know.
Yeah, Prego or even Hunt's. Some
Or
people
Hunt-
fuck with Hunt's. Like yeah,
Oh,
Hunt's.
like the marinara
canned
sauce?
one. You can get the cans. They got like
Tomato sauce.
no, they got like 4 cheese Italian sauce. They got like all kinds of shit, rosemary and garlic shit. Yeah, don't be sleep on the
See,
Hunt's.
we're real people. We do shopping.
Don't sleep on Hunt's.
That's crazy. So the moral of this story is, don't go to 25th Street. You'll get monkeypox.
And apparently you got to go judge Napoli's for yourself. Anyway, that's not even what the episode is about today. But I'm glad we segued and had a great intro for the viewers there. But what we have on the docket today is a pretty good topic, I think.
Oh, a docket. It's like we're in court.
Yeah, we have documents. We have everything. We
on the
have,
docket.
we have a stenographer.
Meeting minutes.
What we got on the agenda to talk about today, I guess, is platonic male and female friendships. How they work, should they work, when do they don't work, yeah, and don't they work? Like, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about that. So, like, I guess we'll just start off with like, how many platonic friends do you have of the opposite sex?
I would say, like, for me, like, probably just, like, a handful
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah, probably, like, a handful. Like, I don't have any more, like, a lot of, like, actual, like, guy friends. So I'd probably, like, say a handful. But you slowly, like, start to realize that, is it platonic? Like, or do, like, like, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
that's true.
we think it is, like,
Yeah.
as females, like, it's platonic for us, but
Right.
for them, like, there's always a motive. And I guess that's, like, where the question comes from.
Do
Yeah.
you think it is, or do you think it's like a ticking time bomb? Like,
No.
it's bound to happen.
Well, that's a good question too, but I think a lot of guys, and I'm learning this as I'm reading hella books on
In the manosphere.
and male mentality, and so many men are afraid to ask or admit to what they want, so they'll just take what they can get. So if they like a woman, and she's just like on a friend shit, a friendly vibe, they're just gonna take the friendly vibe and they're not gonna admit to her that they have more intentions. They're just gonna be like, oh, I'll take what I can get as long as I can be in her presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that kind of like scared mentality, that fear mentality that creates these platonic friendships. And then the female's like, oh yeah, we're friends. We're like, this is my homie, this and that. But he's just kind of like waiting in the wings, low key getting his heart broke, hearing all these sex stories she's telling him and shit like that, or guys that she's crushing on. You know what I mean? And then it manifests itself in the weirdest moments, usually drinks, or he's going through something, or he's in a crisis mode, you know what I mean? He just got dumped by a girl and now he's trying to get at his homegirl type thing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So wait, like, are you saying that the only, like, men don't ever, like there's never an intention for it to be platonic?
Well, they're just
you're-
taking what they can get. What I mean is, like, they'll just take friendship and hope that it's going to turn into something else.
So that's
Or
what I'm saying, like,
in the
they
back
don't
of their
ever
mind,
go into
yeah, they
it.
never go into it like,
Just like,
we
this is
are
really
just
my
friends.
homegirl.
Yeah, there's some guys that probably do that. I mean, we do that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I think there are situations where, like, because I think it usually it comes from the guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're the ones that kind of make things weird. Like, sometimes, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like us as females can be like, oh my God, like, he's just my homie. Like,
Right.
like, we're cool. Like, he respects me, like, whatever. But I feel like it's y'all that make it, like, so, like, you never really have good intentions going into a relationship with a girl. You're like, I'm going to be nice to her. I'm going to be here when that motherfucker fucks up. I'm going to be the shoulder. And then, like, when the getting's good, then you just grab her.
And it might not even be that. Yeah. But it might not even, for most guys,
Not in, like, a
for most
Me Too
guys,
way.
most guys, I really don't think it's even that, like, sinister. They just go with the flow. They don't have no intention on what they want to do. The only intention they have is feeling. They, like, have a feeling for the girl, like, oh, I like her, but I don't want to admit I like her because I don't want her to think I'm weird, or I don't want her to reject me. So I'm just gonna go with this whole friend angle, and as long as I'm around her and able to, like, hang out with her, that's enough for me, type thing. Because it's the hopes of it'll turn into something else, or maybe she's gonna get what's the word I'm looking for? Vulnerable one night and, give me a kiss or something like that. But a lot of guys, like, they're just fearful. They operate in fear and stuff. So, like, a real dude who's working on himself is going to understand himself, and he's going to know who to have around him. Because, like, I personally, because I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to have somebody around me that I have the opportunity, or the opportunity would arise for something to happen other than being a friend. You know what I mean? Like, but there's guys out there who fall into that. And then there's even some women who will have friendships with men to kind of get at their girl type thing. They're kind of like, hey, he's my friend, your boyfriend's my friend type thing. And they're doing it in a sinister way where if, circumstances happen, they're going to do that to city girl some shit. I'll take your man type shit. You know what I mean?
I'll take your man. But it just feels like what you're saying is, like, men genuinely don't go into a situation just wanting to be a female's friend.
No. I would say 90% of the time, no. I think
because to me, what I'm thinking is, like, it's motivation, right? Even like with your friends, I don't know, like, you gotta have some interest in a friend, or whether it be the same sex or the opposite sex. Like, there's a reason why you like them. You either think they're like really cute, really
Right.
pretty, they're bubbly, you want to be like them, or want some feedback for them to like you or something.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with it. Like some chemistry has to be there.
Yeah.
Just to be friends?
I think so. Like, I
Well,
think
like not like in a romantic way, but I think there has to be
a reason,
motivation
for
why
you to want
have
that
a
person
relationship.
around you.
Like have that
Friendship or
person in
not.
your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you guys are saying like that just by that, like it's bound to like something else is bound to happen, because like you have like that mutual like, oh, I like this person because she's funny and like she's bubbly and like she's fun to be around. So like just by that, like that could like create an attraction.
Oh
that,
yeah,
like maybe
it can.
didn't start.
The elements
Right?
are
Women
there.
do that a lot too.
Yeah.
Where they don't notice that they like somebody until they really
Get to know them, and then
Right.
they start getting those feelings, or
Even if they're ugly?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's not a mismatched relationship.
Yeah, and you know,
Like
it's
why
funny,
is she with him?
yes, yeah,
Or
definitely.
vice versa. But it's usually why is she with
Yeah.
him?
Right.
She with him, yeah.
Oh my God, this is a good topic, because I think there's so many different like layers to this conversation. You know what I mean? But really, a lot of people in our demographic, our age group, right? I see a lot of people who are now with their quote unquote friend. Like, I knew them when they were single, and she's like, "Oh, this is my best friend," or "This is my good friend. Like, we're nothing more than friends." Now they're married, they got kids together, and you're like, "Oh, okay, so he's your best friend." Like,
You should be the best friend, right? But
I don't
It
know.
should start
you know
out
what?
that way, a relationship, right? As like friends.
I think you should have that element of like friendship in your relationship and stuff like that. But a lot of guys, and I agree with this type of perspective, right? Is like, you don't want to be too friendly with them, because then you're going to lose attraction. Because if I'm friendly, super friendly with a girl, and we know everything about one another or whatever, and we're like we laugh at the same shit, we have the same interests and stuff like that, the sexual connection's almost gone. Because I want that element of a little bit of like, okay, there's a tension
I
between
think
us.
what you're talking
Like
about was like lust, though.
no, that's the thing. Like, we've been taught that, right? That lust is just craving the body and stuff like that, but it's not. Lust is actually a feeling, just like love is an emotional feeling.
Yeah.
Lust is a feeling, so you got to keep that lust between you and your partner, and to an extent. It doesn't have to be all lust, right? You got to have like that mixture of lust and love. But if you're all like, if it's friendship and love, now you just have like a homeboy, homegirl, right?
But
so
that's
you don't
what
want to
you
have
want.
and
Like,
That's what I think. That's
like
what
I feel like that's what I want.
I think that's the fairy tale romance shit, and Hollywood sold us on that. Like,
No.
I'm gonna have to let you borrow this book I'm reading, because the guy goes into, he has a chapter on this, right? So the author's Rollo Tomasi. I've told you about him. Author of The Rational Male and Rational Sex and all these other books that he's written. No, he's married. He's been married for years. But he says that, like, basically in the chapter, to summarize it, he's like, why would I want to fuck my best friend? He's like, that's gonna
it's not a
kill the
guy.
Yeah,
friendship.
yeah.
Well, it's still, but it's,
They ain't, like, gonna
think
give
about
each
the
other
same, like, but think about the concept, right? Like, if your person is your best friend, you're losing a certain element of the romance. Like, Hollywood has shown us and
I think
told
you're
us.
gaining it.
I don't think so.
I
Okay.
think it could be opposite. That romance is,
Yeah.
is opposite of like not having a best friend. So they want you to be so in lust, so romantic with somebody that you don't have that friendship.
Well, I think you and your woman should have like different passions and stuff like that, right? Because like, okay, for example, like, I don't know how much you guys know about like Dwayne Johnson's life, The Rock, right? So
Everything.
so his ex-wife, he has his oldest daughter with, they were best friends in college.
Little Rocky.
Like, straight up, they were straight up best friends. Like, she was competitive like him. They worked out together. She's still really fit and she's pretty. They were best friends. The relationship didn't last. They fell out of love because they didn't have intimacy for each other anymore. He slept out with a woman outside of his relationship, but it's because
That's why it didn't work out.
But it's because he lost attraction for her.
But that can happen.
He lost that attraction for her.
With
But
somebody
now,
you're in lust with, and then you
but
lose
now-
that lust, and you have
yeah.
more lust for somebody
but
else.
now they're still best friends. That's the thing.
That's a fine
So
thing.
they're still best friends.
That's fine.
They own the XFL together.
Rather have that
Yeah.
than somebody you're just in lust with, and you have this amazing chemistry, but then that either dies down or you find somebody more magnetic and you're in lust with, and then you go to them. Now you don't have that friendship with the first person. So rather have just the friendship and have a good relationship throughout your entire life.
I think that's how.
But, like,
I think
back
that's
to
how
what
like
you
swingers
said.
are made.
But what you said was he cheated. That's what it was. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
he
it
did.
was his best friend.
But
like
he
for us,
lost
like
it. He
for
lost the
most
element.
people, like
Yeah.
I can't say for most people. I feel like there's levels to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you guys are like so close, like where you you're taking shits in front of each other. Like you're in the shower, the other person's like taking a dump, or like you're just like
Right.
farting excessively,
Yeah.
like you're not keeping yourself up, like you're not grooming, like you know what I mean? Like
Which
you're
happens.
not staying attractive, like you know what I mean?
It's exactly what
that,
happens when you become
like
friends.
if you're like if you become homeboys or like homegirls in
Yeah.
that sense, like where you just don't care about like pleasing your partner,
Right.
like that's where like what you're saying comes in my head,
Right.
But like if you're like, yo, I can tell this person anything, like that's like my rider, like I want to go home and tell this person shit, like we could laugh at the same like dumb shit, like I can be comfortable with you in like a sexual setting because like I don't take myself that serious, and like I know that like you appreciate my body, like you're my best friend, like you love me for exactly who I am. But like once that mystery is gone, like of like y'all just doing like outrageous stuff, because like I was just talking to somebody on the phone and I was like, okay, like if a relationship ever like happens, I feel like the way the relationship works is like y'all have separate bathrooms and like separate like places, like separate places where you do certain things, because like you don't want to see like everything that your partner does, like you know what I mean?
It breaks
It's a
down a
mystery.
barrier. It breaks down that.
the illusion.
There's you know what, there was
We wanna
that
be
just reminded me. So
sometimes.
that just reminded me what she was saying, that so back in the day when I was in Vegas, living in Vegas, me and Dad were doing this guy's floors. So Dad knew this guy through Canyon Ranch, where he worked as a maintenance man. This guy was a routine goer there, him and his wife, right? And beautiful house, like beautiful house. I can't remember what the guy did, but they had separate bedrooms across the hall from each other. And Dad was like, isn't you guys are married, right? Like you guys are. He's like, yes, and he was like foreign, whatever. But someone just accent. But he's like, yes, but you don't want to have your partner around every day. You want to have some space for yourself. So I don't sleep with her. He goes, when we come together to make love, we make love. But I don't share a bed with her. I don't share this with her, because you have to keep that element of you're doing something together. Where if you're in a routine and you're like, okay, I'm seeing everything about them every single day. Their bad habits become triggers. Yeah, for you. They can look like triggers and like unwanted behaviors.
That person, though.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't get too comfortable because you're going to lose the love.
Yes, you can. I think everybody's different. Like it's not one way for everybody. What works for you might not work for me. What works for you might not work for her.
I think people are general though, in a sense that humans are just general.
No, like for like what Rome's saying, like I don't want to know, like after being in a relationship, right, for 8 years, like in the beginning, like certain things were cool, but like after a minute, like I don't want to know when you just took a shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to know that. Like, you know what I mean? Because like we're gonna like sleep together, like we're gonna like be intimate, like you know what I mean? I don't even know that you just like took a dump. Like
but you should know if they're a clean person. So like if
I get it, but still like I just want to have that visual and like the olfactory system's working, I'm smelling things like I don't want that. And then like maybe Rome, like well you can say like what yours is like, you know, your wife's hair in the sink all the time. You're like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, I mean, that's probably not like you're not going to be not attracted to her because her hair's in the sink. But, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there are just certain things that, like, you guys probably wouldn't want your women to do. Like, don't fart. Like, you know what I mean? Don't fart around me. But, like, everything else, like, might be, like, or, like, okay, you guys both have, like, kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your partners have children. Mm-hmm. Y'all know where they came from.
Right, yeah.
Like, if you, and men see that all the time, but like, is there any like less attraction, like if you see your child like come out of your wife?
No.
That's a great
your partner, because
question.
You're gonna have to get back up in that at some point, and you just saw some other shit happen.
This is a really good question. Really good question, because
I feel like I'd be traumatized.
Yes, when I had my first kid, so when I had my son, I watched everything.
Yeah.
Okay, like I was right there at the base watching everything. You know what I mean?
At the base.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's because I was young, but it freaked me the fuck out. Like I really like for weeks was like, damn, like I really just seen that, and it kind of did something to me as far as like our sexual connection, because like I always seen it as like when a man looks at and sees a pussy, it's like a magical thing to him. You know what I mean? Like it's like that primal instinct. It's like, oh, this is like the thing I've been waiting to get. You know what I mean?
I don't even know why you said it like that.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, but like it did something to me. Like I would see it and I'm like, all I could see was like, oh shit, a whole baby just came out of it. I seen it open this fucking wide. You know what I mean? And it like did something to my psyche, yo. And so I was like, man, it took a minute to get over that, right? But I kind of stopped like really wanting to fuck her all the time. Where I used to before, and while she was like pregnant and stuff, I wanted to fuck all the time. And it was only a short lasting thing, but it affected her because she thought that I was no longer attracted to her because she just had a baby, gained, a little bit of weight and stuff like that. So it was a bad thing. Yeah. And so that's a good question.
Yeah.
For me, like I feel like this is all a maturity thing. Like
because now, because my second child, there was no effect. Like I was there the whole time, seen everything again.
Well, you did say you were young.
Yeah, I was only 21 or 22.
So what do you think, Ron?
I saw everything, and then like personally, like and no offense, but yeah, I didn't think like the vajay like could puff up that much.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But like it's natural. This is what humans do for,
eons.
Millennia,
since we were beginning.
Exactly. So I'm just experiencing the trip.
Right.
And I know that like once she's healed and everything, like it's gonna feel good eventually.
Right.
So I'm not tripping over like how it looks.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
So he's not so much of a visual person.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. But
probably not.
I just think of like the long
logically, it's not going to stay like that.
You said, the long game.
Yeah.
See, that, like I said, that was probably because I was young at that point, and it was like pussy was still like a majestic thing. Not that it isn't now, but like it was a majestic thing when you're young. Yeah. Like it's like, fucking Christmas morning every time you see a girl like open her legs up. You know what I mean? But like now that I'm mature, like it's.
No, I believed in aliens once my baby came. Like
it made you believe more aliens, yeah. So. But the second, like when my daughter was born,
you'll have to see it. I can't describe it. No, not just like coming out, but like when it was actually on the table and like.
Oh yeah, how gray they look and everything like that.
You can't call it's your daughter.
Yeah,
like once it was out.
I personally feel like we all have alien DNA.
Oh, like they were just talking about the Joe Rogan podcast. We can go to a whole nother thing, but how we're genetically modified.
There's a DNA that we can't account for.
Yeah.
At all.
Right.
But yeah.
But
I'm getting into some
other shit. But I'm just saying, like, there's certain elements of your partner you want to keep in a certain perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to know every single thing my partner does. Because I feel like friends, that's what makes you friends. You have a certain thing that you like in common, right? Like I've got friends that I don't have things in common with anymore that I used to have things in common with, and we're not friends anymore. I'm still cool with them. You know what I mean? If they need something, they can hit me up, whatever. But my friends, that's somebody that I have something in common with. I'm either trying to achieve a commonality or whatever, right? Or we enjoy doing the same things, right? My partner, I'm not always going to enjoy doing the things she wants to do. She's not going to always enjoy the things I want to do or see or even play, right? Like I'm not going to hoop with my girl. It's not loving basketball. You know what I mean?
That was cute.
But it's a movie. It's a movie.
I love that.
Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like those type of things, it's just, there's certain elements you don't want to have. Like you don't want to have your partner involved in every single thing that you do.
Well, no, it's not even it's not an involvement thing necessarily. However, love you, but like you're coming from kind of like how society has evolved into it's more of like an aesthetic thing, like, right? Like you're thinking like you want, like I feel like men to a certain extent sometimes want like this pillar of perfection all the time. Like they want, like we always talk about a bad bitch, like, right? Yeah. And so like once that like image is gone, like this, she's like maybe not a bad bitch anymore. Like you guys like want, like you might want to just like see her as that all the time. So like I think I'm talking about like frequency at which you see these like undesirable things. Mm-hmm. Like if it's like every once in a while, like that's human. Like you're gonna experience like something that's like, maybe not like desirable, but as long as it's not like a continual thing, like you can like move past it quickly. But like once you start looking at your girl as like not like a feminine, like
yeah.
majestic, what you call it, majestic thing.
Yeah, I think
then
it comes down to like mannerisms too, though. Like if someone's just like letting it rip or something like disrespectful. Or
Oh, yeah.
like, they're too comfortable, but it's like no, you actually should be like have some manners or some respect of like my
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But yeah, I think that's where you have to select your partner. If it's a guy, let him be a gentleman. Or a woman, let her be a lady. Or for the most part. But
Yeah,
I think it's human to know. If they like, you don't have to watch them take a number.
Of course, yeah.
But
yeah,
but if
you
you're aware
know
of,
they're
like,
doing all that, and then, like you let your partner be who your partner is, right? It's not like I want my partner to be who I want them to be. They're who they are, but there's
most
just
people want them to. Be
yeah, I
who they
know,
want to
but
be.
I'm saying there's just a certain element where you're like, okay, we don't have to do everything together. Like we don't have to be, okay, I'm coming home, we're gonna jump in bed, watch the same movie, we're gonna watch the same shows because we enjoy the same show. That doesn't happen in a relationship, rarely. You know what I mean? There's some things we'll watch together. There's some movies that come out, we'll want to go see them together and stuff like that. But there's some shit that I'm just not interested in that she's interested in. I'm not going to fake being interested in it for the sake of, we got to be best friends too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's kind of an aesthetic, right?
That doesn't mean,
You got to have that element of like, I have my life, my goals, my ambitions.
Have an agreement to what you both like. You shouldn't adapt and change your likeness
to them or whatever, or them, vice versa too. Yeah. But like, you got to have your own. You got to want to achieve your own goals and stuff like that. Like this whole like couple goals shit, right? It rarely is going to work because you're rarely going to want to fuck the same person that you also want to attain, a $1 billion business with.
I do.
Like, but do you see that happening? Like, how many mom and pop shops become $1 billion companies?
When it comes
Like
to
Sam
business,
Sam Walmart did it alone, right? He's been divorced X million amount of times, right?
His name is Sam Walmart?
Yes. That's why it's Sam's. That's why it's Sam's Club and Walmart. Yeah.
I was today years old when I did not.
Vince McMahon, right? Vince McMahon, owner of the World Wrestling Entertainment. But he's fucking other women. He's in trouble now. He's in the news and shit now. But he wasn't even having sex with his wife. He was out doing his own thing and fucking a bunch of bitches. But he was building his company on his own. The marriage was an aesthetic. Like you rarely see, the only thing you see where people like it's a joint ownership. Me and my husband have a business, mom and pop shops, little small business shops, no multi-billion-dollar corporations, but it's been painted in our heads that, you could have it all. You could have your cake and eat it too. You could have a partner where you're going to build an empire with, and you guys are going to sit up top of, on the throne. It's just not going to happen. Like let her build her shit. Yeah. You build your shit. You guys have a common thing, like whether it's your kids you're raising, but there's no such thing, I don't think, as like, we're best friends and best lovers and this. There's an element where you got to keep that separate if you want one to survive.
You can.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying that's a rarity, but I hear what you're saying. Because like once you mix business with family or relationship,
it's sour.
That's more problems. That's more like, added stress and possibly depression and expectation or like, because think about how you probably hate a coworker. If you have someone you love with,
and you start to
you're like, this motherfucker's not doing their job.
Exactly.
And you gotta go home with them, right? Like separation of like church and state.
So you gotta have that. You gotta have that separation.
But the question, so I'm just wondering. So back to like the male female platonic relationships. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that I learned Sam Walmart. That's crazy. Mine is blown. But like what's the boundary? Like right? Like what's
that's a good
what's
question.
a frequent how should you communicate with a friend of the opposite sex to like reinforce that it is platonic, but like you guys are still friends? Like it's like I talk to my girlfriends all the time, like hit them up, like how are you doing? Like what are you doing?
Checking in with them. Vibe checks.
Like how are the kids? Like how are you and so? Like, but do you feel like what's the boundary? Like, how far is too far? Like with a platonic male-female relationship where, like, are those things okay? Especially if like the other person has a partner, or if you both have a partner. Like, where do you what's the boundary?
That's the fine line, right? Because like, I think only in certain circumstances is it fine to have like platonic male and female friends, right? Like, I think what works with like me and Sade, us and Sade, is that Sade's been in our lives forever. She's a friend of ours forever. She's friends with my girlfriend. You know, she went to school with your girlfriend too, so we kind of like have a familiarity with each other. So there's an element of respect already built in to our friendship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like lines won't be crossed because we're friends. We're all friends together. But
and I also like because of that, like it's funny. Like I check in like with Lo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like make sure like she's cool with like me being here doing this, like you know what I mean? Like if you ever have questions or like feel weird about me like being here and doing this with them, like just talk to me, like you know what I mean? Because like it's like we're just Gucci and she's like, no girl, like we're fine, like okay, cool, like you know what I mean? So like it's a communication thing.
Yeah, and that's where that respect's like baked in too.
Yeah. And like also like the other like another boundary that like we have personally is like we all communicate on Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like I'm texting you or like
that's
you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Like,
I think
that's like a probably like something that makes like your like feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
like,
that's on like which I don't know. Some people think that social media is worse than having your phone number these days or whatever. But I think there's like so that we're kind of like getting around to like when does it not work? Where's the line drawn type thing, right? I think that. And it's difficult because I can only speak from the male perspective on having female friends. I can't speak from the female having male friends, right? Yeah. But as a male, I think that it's all good, it's all kosher until one of you starts to develop feelings or admit to the other that you're developing feelings, right?
That's what I'm saying. Where's that boundary and how, like, like when do you start to develop feelings?
Right. And you can't control that because people are going to develop feelings on their own. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's rare that the two people just develop feelings together, right? Unless they're spending a lot of time, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's instant attraction for sure, but they shouldn't be your friend if you have instant attraction for them, I would say. But
are you gonna admit that? Like, would somebody admit, like, dang, like I'm attracted to this person, I can't be your friend. I'm too attracted to you.
If I was a girl, I think I would test guys, and if you test guys, it's sad.
Like, do you see those memes or you see those TikTok videos?
Fearful of the outcome.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, give me an example of testing. Like, what do you mean?
Like, so if you've seen those TikTok videos where like the guy will get the girl's phone and be like, hey, send this text to your guy friends, and be like. It could be something like as far as like we'll just say the guy's name's Julio. Hey, Julio and me are fighting. I need somebody to come over right now to talk to. And if the guy responds like I'm on my way, or oh he's a bastard, that asshole, I'll be there to talk to you, whatever. Those guys want to fuck you. They'll be like that. Yes. The guy's not gonna rush into another man's situation unless he has an intention of being involved with that woman in some way or form sexually, right? Well, no, that's different.
I was like, you better step in and like help me. Like if I tell you you'll beat my ass. Like.
But like no, just like we're arguing or we're not talking right now, and she's in a vulnerable state.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Should interject
interject himself. Yes,
been hands off with friends.
Yeah, and there was this one actually. I can't remember exactly how it went, but it made me laugh. So it was just a regular meme, like a screenshot meme, but it's all me if I got a hold of my girl's phone, and it's like sends a message to one of her male friends, and it's like, hey, so and so's gone. I really want to see you. Come over. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We don't hang out unless he's around. And he's all, you passed the test, my guy. Good shit. And then he sends another text and he goes, hey, for real, this is Emily. Did you tell Julio anything? Because he had my phone. And he's like, oh, again, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So keep me out of this. And he goes, yo, my dude, it's me again. I was just trying to run the test a second time. Yeah. So like, but a female should test her male friends. Because a lot of guys aren't courageous enough to just straight up admit they have a crush on girl. They want something out of the relationship. Like I said, a lot of guys are going to take what they can get. Or there's a lot of guys too who are sneaky.
Those guys
will snatch. They'll bite at the first opportunity they get. You know what I mean? And I think like because let's see. Women aren't like, there's not like an innocence about women, right? Or anything like that. But women are trusting. They're very trusting because that's in their, and that's the nature. That's female nature. You know what I mean? To trust and this and that. So some guys kind of prey on that. You know what I mean? They're predators about that. And they'll be like, okay, I'm going to wait in the wings, kind of play this position and kind of like, give little hints of, hey, I'm here for you. I'm a strong male influence in your life. We're friends. Ha ha ha, blah, blah, blah. And then once the girl becomes vulnerable, they attack. and they start applying pressure. They know things about girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they can use that to manipulate their emotions to get them to do something with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But
So it's predatory
as
guys
a
like that.
female, like,
Yeah.
you have to give us some credit. Like, we also know that y'all waiting in the wings. Like, we're
Right.
also like,
Yeah.
taking advantage of, like, we know that he's going to be here and that,
Mm-hmm.
like, he's, like, waiting for some shit to pop off. So, like, we're not stupid. Like, we are raised to be polite, nice, all that stuff.
But you're
But,
also alert.
yeah,
Right.
we also know, like, women are, like, low-key manipulative. Like,
Yeah.
we know, like, even just, like, with our dads, like, we know how to play our dads, like, to get what
Yeah.
we want. Like, your little girls are gonna, like, get more out of you than your
Already
son.
does it.
Like, you know what I mean? And, like, she can't even talk. Like, you know what I mean? Or maybe she can, I don't know. But, like, that's just, like, how we are. Like, we're not doing it to be malicious. Like, we
Right.
just know that we can by virtue of being a woman. And so, like, I'm just saying for y'all, don't think that we don't know that you guys are waiting in the background. Like, you guys think
Yeah.
y'all doing it in secret, and I'm just gonna come out and be like, oh, like, she's not even gonna know what hit her. Like,
Right,
no,
right,
like,
right.
like, we knew you were coming.
Yeah, true. But with me, like that's why I only like someone who's interested in me, or even if it was like, you know, outside, like I got drunk or something. Like I would never like just I don't know, like flirt with a girl or do something if there wasn't something there. Like she had to come on to me. She had to touch me. She had to do something
Oh, okay.
for there
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be, you know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to make this,
Right.
a reach out and, you know, and do something. Like there has to be some initiation from her.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So you're saying, like it has to be like a mutual thing. Like maybe you've given her a sign, but she also has to like give you some indication, or like you're just not gonna do anything until she like
Until
gives
she
you
gives the indication or something, because I'm like even before the Me Too movement type of thing, like she has to be the
She
one
has to be the one.
to you know initiate.
Yeah.
So I'm not in the fault. Like
Right.
I could participate or
Yeah.
you know go along with see where it goes or where her head is
Yeah.
at. But so kind of like a girl, I guess. But like I'm not gonna be the one to be like, oh,
Right.
shit, I'm gonna jump out the window and you know try this move.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's also because like y'all afraid of the rejection part.
Yeah, a
right?
lot of times that's what has held me back in life from a lot of like
Yeah.
opportunities, I guess. But I think most men are like that. They don't want to be rejected. It hurts to be rejected. You know what I mean? Like women get rejected a lot less than men, but I think it would hurt a woman more to be rejected because they're used to getting so much acceptance.
Yeah.
But a man, because he gets rejected so much, it's just like it becomes like a fuck. It's coming. The rejection's coming. I don't want to do this because I know I'm gonna get rejected, so I'm just gonna play my part. You know
Well,
what I
you
mean?
think like y'all just get used to it, like, well, the rejection's coming, like, oh well.
You know what's funny? There's a chapter there's a chapter in that book where it's talking about a confident man versus a stupid man, right? Where a stupid man's gonna get laid as much as a confident man because he doesn't have that. Yeah, he just keeps going for it. He just keeps going for women. He's just dumb. He's a fuck. Yeah, he's gonna work out to his favor because he doesn't have nothing holding him back. He's just like whatever, like fuck it, I'm
It's not necessarily quality at that point.
It's
Like,
not. He's just gathering up what he can. But then the confident man, he does it out of courage. You know what I mean? He's basically doing the same thing the stupid guy's doing, but he's doing it with a better intention.
I give the respect to the confident because he's doing it with a strategy or something.
Right. Intention. Yeah.
Well, the stupid guy.
He's just doing it. He's getting experience. He doesn't know why though. He's just like it's just.
That's intent too, because like he's stupid and he wants to get more experience.
Right.
Like, he's like, well, how else am I gonna like get this off? Like I might as well just dive in and do what I gotta.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So
shit.
is he really stupid?
He's gonna get monkeypox, so he's stupid.
Yeah, he might not do that now.
Or he might because he's stupid.
Yeah, he might because he's stupid.
All right, so okay, what
I'm
situation?
stupid.
So
Because you don't have to be kind of brave and stupid. You have to have some.
well, I think they kind of go they go hand in hand, right? Stupidity and bravery. At some point, it's kind of the same thing because you do got to kind of turn off an element of your brain to not have the fear interact with your action. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there is kind of like a hand in hand with bravery and stupidity, but
they both getting pussy.
they both getting pussy though. Oh shit. Yo, you know what's crazy? Because it's been episodes since we've talked about body counts and shit like that.
Oh no.
But this guy that I showed you one of his videos, Mr. Locario.
Yeah.
Okay, the dude is a male coach, basically like that Hitch movie with Will Smith. He's basically that in real life, right? The dude was like, because the guys were, he has like a YouTube live show where people can just ask him questions, and they kept asking him his body count. He's like, yo, why the fuck y'all need to know my body count? He's like, look, I'm not sleeping with thousands of girls. He goes, I maybe have like 200 women. That's it. He's like, he's like 40 years old. I was like, damn, like he's a good looking dude, tall, like muscular and shit like that. I was like, and he's only had 200 body. He's a responsible dude.
Only.
I think that's
excessive.
That's a lot.
That's like
definitely more than what I have. Definitely a lot more than what I have. But I'm just saying, like, you would think a guy who has himself like well put together, like he's an influencer, has a lot of money, would have much more than that. Because what's that rapper that claims he has like 1,000 a year?
Yeah, Blueface.
Blueface. He fucks 1,000 women a year. And I'm sure he does. Because he's got
Didn't he just get in trouble for like
he got his
beating up
ass beat by a woman. That's what happened. Yeah, his own girlfriend beat his ass.
Allegedly.
I saw the video.
I believe it.
I seen the video. Did you guys not see the video?
No.
I didn't watch the video.
Okay,
I just,
yeah, she was-
heard the
Someone
story.
like Whack 100 kicking somebody out. But I don't know if this is
I mean,
quite
he-
wild,
I don't
but
know.
He at least he didn't like strike back. Like he got mad and he was like tugging on her, but he didn't slap her.
rice.
He didn't really rice her ass or anything like that. But
no.
she put the hands on boy.
Yeah.
She fucking put the mitts to him.
What did he do?
he could throw. A little
Yeah,
bit.
he's from LA, so he's definitely got some fighter in him. But anyways, he fucks 1,000 women a year.
Yeah.
Like, so he claims.
It's probably
You know what
why
I mean?
she's beating his
Sure.
ass.
And it's probably why he's gonna get monkeypox.
Well, that's the thing though.
Show us
Like,
monkeypox.
like when Tyson was going
Yeah.
for the belt, and he was so young and stuff, like they hook up like an older boxer told him like we attract garbage because like
Oh yeah.
when you have notoriety, you have a lot of people coming at you and maybe not the best. But he had like gonorrhea when he was in his.
Oh, and he fought in a title
he fought
match.
in the title
Yeah.
match, right? So his shit was burning.
Right.
When he won the title, but like.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It's a gift and a curse. Like
Right.
I think it's gonna be fun, but like
Yeah.
there's gonna be problems that come along with it.
Right. And Mike Tyson even kind of famously said on it wasn't his podcast, another podcast, or was it his podcast? You've seen it with me where he's like, you can't say you're the man if you've never been burnt. You never got an STD. He goes, you ain't a fucking player if you never got an STD. I was like, yo, Mike, chill out. You're giving people the wrong impression.
Chill.
Like, it's not a badge of
He's
honor
like,
to
you haven't
hold,
knocked
man.
down enough, like enough of a variety. Like you ain't a man unless you got gonorrhea, monkeypox, and COVID.
Cocktail.
You ain't a man unless you have all that.
All of it.
Oh my God. I love these little sidetracks that we go on.
But no, yeah, like what were you saying?
No.
No, I was just saying like, what's the boundary? Did we
Yeah.
figure out what the boundary
we didn't even
was?
figure out what the boundary was, but it's an important question because I think that it goes too far if you start substituting that friend of the opposite sex with your partner. You know what I mean? Like if I have like a really big problem at work, or if I have like a problem, or not even a problem, but a solution that I'm looking for somebody's input on, I should go to my partner first. You know what I mean?
What if your partner is not as knowledgeable as the person at work?
You go to them first. I think it's a respect thing. Like I respect her enough to at least present it to her first, because if I presented it to my female friend,
Okay.
and then let's just say in casual conversation, my female friend's like, oh, did Rudy tell you about this thing? My partner's gonna be like, no, he didn't. Why did he tell you first type thing? This is how women operate.
Yeah.
So out of respect, like as long as those boundaries aren't broken, I think that's a healthy male-female platonic relationship. As long as I'm going to my woman first, right?
Right.
And then if they don't have a solution, or the solution's just not going to work, whatever, and then I could go to like a platonic female friend who may have more experience or may know something about what I'm asking, to go to them, and then they can, maybe their input's going to be good or bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Is that fair?
It's the communication.
Yeah.
And like, depending on what it is, like you're like, you know what, babe, like this happened, but like I know like Amber has like
Right.
experience in this area, so like I think I'm gonna like reach out to Amber.
I think she's gonna get mad if you tell her you're gonna tell her.
No, that's where communication comes in, though.
You
like-
think she'll get mad if you tell her?
I think so.
You're like, well, babe, like Amber
Yeah.
like has like
Right.
experience here. Like, do you think I should reach out to her and like see like what she thinks about it? Or you think you're like, well, why can't I can help you?
Right,
Like, why,
yeah.
why you gotta go to Amber? Like, let's try to figure it out first, and
Yeah.
then we both go to Amber.
Right.
I don't think any of your
I don't
girls
think
talk
that's
like
gonna
that.
Maybe when she's mad.
It's like, from what I've heard, like, and we don't have to go into specifics of what relationship, but I think you had a controlling relationship where you couldn't do certain things and stuff like that.
Just mostly like hang out with people of the opposite sex. Like I had to get rid of all my guy friends.
Right.
Oh.
Because like in her eyes it was never platonic. Like they all wanted to sleep with me. Like they didn't just like me because I'm an amazing person. You know? And I'm amazing.
Yeah.
But like so I had it like so
Okay.
that was a thing.
So yeah, like I would have to say like mine is more controlled too, like which is a good thing. Like
Right.
going back to Mike Tyson, like he had a trainer, Custody Amato, right?
Yeah.
He kept Tyson fighting every month, every
Right.
So weeks.
Kept him in line.
Kept him in the gym.
Yeah.
Because if not, Tyson would run wild.
Doing cocaine.
Just
and
like Rodman.
flying pigeons while fucking a bitch.
I possibly, if I was like, not, my head on straight by, somebody who's telling me, hey, well, not, what I mean. But what I'm saying is, we all have a certain thing in us where we want to be free or wild or something at some point in time, maybe. But like, yeah, I think you're in a relationship where you're not as controlled. So how does that make you? Do you have to control yourself?
Yeah, I think it's good because I gotta be disciplined. I gotta be disciplined on what I'm doing, who I'm with. You know what I mean?
Because there's trust there from
there's trust from my partner. I'm getting some trust to go out, and it's vice versa. Like I trust her, she goes out like with her sister, her cousins, whatever, and it's that mutual trust and respect that like, hey, we can be free, have our own separate lives. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily, but like different friendships. You know what I mean? Because she has friends that are not my friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I mean, I would say I wouldn't have a female friend of mine that's not her friend or that has like any animosity towards her. Right. Like if I have female friends, they're gonna kind of like know her at least. Yeah. I just think that's a respect thing. Go ahead.
So like there's like in-person like relationships, like a person of the opposite sex that you might see often or like have conversation with. But do you think there's also like a boundary because like we are in the age of social media? Do you think there's a boundary like if you're in a relationship about like likes, like liking people's pictures, like you know what I mean? Especially like if they're maybe like a little risque. Like do you feel like that's like a boundary that you don't cross like with your partner? Like do you feel like that's like maybe like that would make your so like if you guys are like in like bikini pics, like maybe not of like people that like aren't obtainable, but like of like maybe people that like you are actually like around or like you actually have access to or like or that aren't like Beyonce or like whoever, like you know what I mean? Yeah. Like do you think like if it's your friend, so like say you guys have like female friends and they're like posting on social media and like it could be even like an innocent post, but like you're liking their stuff or like do you like are you guys cognizant of like do you think we should be cognizant of that like if we're friends and like the kind of content that we like or of our friends? Do you think our partners are like taking notice of that?
I think so, and women will let it go or they'll hold it in the back of their mind and bring it out in certain situations when the time's right. They know how to pick their shots, right?
Strategic.
Yeah. But yes, I think that like there's certain female friends on my Instagram and stuff that I have that I just won't like some of their pictures because I don't want to give the wrong impression to my woman because we're mutual friends with them. That I'm liking risque pictures of them or something like that, right? And that's a respect thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then there's some female friends that I have that I'm like real friends with, and if they post something that I'm like, oh yeah, you go, like do your thing, girl, like you go, that's a like right there. But it's a different type of like. It's not like oh shit, damn, yeah, I'm liking that. You know what I mean? Like I would a Ashanti or something. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference.
Like an I see you rather than I see you.
Right, exactly.
And I feel like if it's accompanied by like a comment, like likes or like don't comment.
Right, like I'm not gonna like something and then put like heart eyes or fire signs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I might like something. Yeah. Like I might like a story and then reply to that story of my female friend and just put like like fire or whatever, and they'll reply like, yeah, do your thing, like encouragement. Right. right? But it's not anything that I'm not doing for my own girl.
Yeah.
Like I'm only gonna do that if I'm doing that for my girl.
But that's what I'm like. Things probably could be misconstrued though if you did hard eyes or
I'm not gonna do the hard eyes.
No, I'm saying like, but if you were to just be like, wow, like that's probably too extreme. We all, yeah. But I'm saying like I would like to people that I know's photos that are like kind of either not risque, but like something like you posted something that was like body positive, and I was like, and like I should have liked it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I saw it.
That's the thing. That's respecting. It's the respect thing. Yeah.
Me personally, like I stay off social media just to like. I don't know, because I feel like if you give one person a compliment, like you should give everybody a compliment. So I don't do anything.
Oh, you're a fucking participation trophy person. I'm
Yeah.
No, my thing.
That's something.
Well,
Funny.
because it looks like because he's not like super active and
Yeah,
out of nowhere, like
Right.
if he were to like that like
it'd be
particular
why are you
liking that one? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
I get it.
things get, because I would definitely do like a fire, not definitely, but if I did, I would want it to be misconstrued other than like, wow, like you're feeling yourself, that keep it up.
Yeah.
And
It's like support.
And and I think that's where like communication comes in with your friend too of the opposite sex. Like they should know that if you like their pictures, it's an encouragement thing. Like look at me as one of your homegirls who, if your homegirls like the picture, they're like, oh hell yeah, sis slay, sis type shit. I'm doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
But us women, we should also just be like how Roman said it was like a maturity thing for like being able to like be in that platonic relationship. Like us women need to like check our insecurities in ourselves too, because like I feel like, okay, so what? Like he's with me. He's not blind. He's not dead. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's still like, it's okay for my man to find like other people attractive or just support women, because like there's this like whole male-female feud situation going on right now
in the
like,
world.
Where like it's males against females, and like we're both like kind of just like shitting on each other. But it's because I feel like, sorry ladies, but I feel like a lot of it is because like us as females, like we are very insecure, and like we feel like we have, like if we have a partner, like we own that person. We own what they're like. We have the saying what they do. Like we own all the rights to this music. I am the producer. Like
I don't feel like
that's fair.
I've had girlfriends like that that were very intrusive on shit that I'm doing, right? Where like random women, like women that I'm not friends with, they're not friends with, and like their pictures, and then it's a fucking fight. Like you're coming home to who the fuck is this? Why are you? I'm like, I don't know who the fuck she is either, but look at her body. Yeah. Like, you don't like that either. Then you're like, then you're looking through the lecture, you liked it too. But I've been in relationships like that too, and that's why those relationships were like short-lived type shit. You know what I mean? But I think that's why like me and my kids' mom, why it even though we've had like off and on and all this shit like that, why it works though. We have that kind of mutual understanding of each other. Like she knows Rudy likes these type of women. I know she likes these type of artists. She likes, this type of thing or whatever like that. But as long as it's like, I'm not, and this goes to boundaries, right? As long as I'm not friends with people that I've been romantically involved with, right? And so vice versa. That's a boundary. And vice versa, because although so the thing is like, for males and females, it's different, right? If a guy has friends on social media that he's been romantically involved with, he's not gonna go to their page and like their shit and stuff like that unless he's a fucking dog and he just has them there because he wants something from her still, which that happens a lot. Guys will be friends with girls they fucked or girls they've messed with simply for the fact of that door's open. If I'm her friend, that door's open, I can get back in there one day. You know what I mean? So, but like I just won't have that. Like I won't have people I've been in relationships with, stuff like that, on my friends list, right? I mean, there may be one or two on there that I've like done stuff with in the past, but it was never like romantically involved and like we had a relationship together type shit, right? And so like with my female, I feel like the same respect should be given. You know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be friends with guys they were romantically involved with, right?
I think
because
serious.
That guy still, serious. That's what I'm talking about. Like if it was a hookup or whatever, I'm not gonna know about it for one, because I'm not gonna get into that person's business, right? That's their business. But if they were like in a relationship,
if it was serious.
it was a serious relationship, like nothing, not anything past an entanglement, right? That's where the boundary is. Because that guy is going to be like, and this is how men operate. Oh, I'm her friend on fucking Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, she don't love you. Like, she ain't about you, bro. She's still involved in my shit. She still looks at my profile. You know what I mean? Like, being on the friends list, guys think like that. So
I feel like it all goes back to like, it's just like an ego thing. Like,
it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's all men,
like,
but it's
why
all
can't,
how
we,
men
like,
think.
As men and women,
Yeah.
like, what's wrong? Like, so you guys are just saying, like, no, like, everybody that you fucked ever, like, y'all can never go back.
Serious with.
Like, like a relationship?
Yeah, like,
so,
what do you mean? Well,
like, if Flo, okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so, we'll just use real life examples.
Yeah.
Like, if Flo, like, you know, on one of y'all's off periods, was, like, messing with somebody
Right.
or whatever. I ain't saying she did. I don't know shit about that. But I'm just saying, like, if she was messing with somebody, it wasn't, like, a relationship. Like, you just knew, like, they had hooked up because, like, your communication's great. You know, like, what she was doing just so, like, you ain't out and you see homeboy and, like, I fucked your girl.
Right,
like,
right,
I know she told me. So, like, are you saying, like, if it was, like, that type of relationship, like, you would feel uncomfortable with her pursuing, like, or, like, still being like, well, like, we weren't nothing. Like, we were just fucking, like, he's, like, my homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't a romantic relationship. It wasn't like, this is my man, this is my girl. Like, whatever. Like, you guys were just, they were just it was just like a sexual thing. Or, like, he just, like, hit one time and you knew about it.
Right. I guess it
and
just.
like, maybe it was like an acquaintance,
Yeah.
maybe. Well,
But
you didn't do this. So I'm just saying,
But
it was
just,
like an acquaintance.
Yeah.
And you're going to see that person or, you know, is that friendship off limits just because, like, they may have been...
It depends because with men, like, they're going to take the initiative to send something to the inbox. You know, maybe not sexual, but send something. And if you get a reaction to a man that's like, oh, yep, she still got it for me. You know what I mean? In some way or another, I'm going to be there in case he fucks up. So there's definitely a difference between that guy and then a guy who maybe they were involved once or twice, whatever like that, and then like he respects the boundary. Like he's like, oh yeah, she's in a relationship now. Like, you know, we're just on each other's friends list. But most guys aren't like that. Mm-hmm. Most guys are just not like that.
Yeah.
Most guys are like, they see that and they're like looking at your pictures and shit like that, and they look at like family pictures and shit, and they're like, damn, I had Shorty bent over the couch. You know what I mean? She was sucking dick. And that's how guys think. And like, this motherfucker's really doing this with her. You know what I mean? Like, this is how men operate.
Yeah.
Because I've been on that side too. Like, when I was single, bro. When I was single, bro, I was, you know, messing around with all kinds of different girls and shit like that. And then I'll come up across their profile. They'll friend request me, and I look at their profile. And I'm like, damn, that's the dude who's hitting now. Hopefully she's doing this for him because she did this. No, I wonder if she's doing that.
The ultimate goal isn't sex. The ultimate goal is to have a relationship and
not most guys. Most guys don't fucking look at that though.
Yeah,
most guys don't look at that.
Of course, like, but what I'm saying, like, it's cool to be like, oh yeah, I fucked that.
Yeah.
I fucked that. You know, I had that. That was cool. You know, it was a good time. I remember that. I should do that again.
Right.
But no, but like. That's not the ultimate goal, though. The ultimate goal is, like, if that is a precious being, you want to have that person in your life, you know, day by day. So, yeah. Like, it's low-level thinking if it's like, oh, yeah, I fucked that. Like, it's cool to have that in the background or your friends.
And then especially if the guy thinks like that, you're not going to want your girl having him on her fucking social media.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But that's like one out of 1,000. That's 1 out of 1,000 guys. But I'm just saying there's a difference, right? There's a boundary that should be there if the guy is sending her shit. You know what I mean? And a girl's not going to tell you. She's not going to be like, oh, so-and-so sent me, a meme today and I reacted with a laughing emoji. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't come up.
A girl's not going to tell you a woman will.
Maybe, but they're just not going to do, like most women I've been involved with don't do that. They're not like, oh yeah, so-and-so sent this and I did this, just to let you know. Or like I reacted to a meme they sent me or whatever, just to let you know. They don't do that. They're not going to do that.
I feel like my girl will tell me. But that's the thing. I give my girl the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
Like, if I wanted to like go through her phone, like I could, but
Yeah.
I don't want to, I don't want to start an argument.
Right, but here's the thing
she
too,
could go
though.
through my phone if
Yeah.
she wanted to, but she probably doesn't want to, like go
Yeah.
there. So it's just.
Well, it's almost insulting
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're just like, why are you even doing? Like,
Right.
what did I do to
Yeah.
make you even like
Want
want to do that?
Yeah. But then here's the
Like-
thing too, like you haven't spent time away from your relationship. Like you guys have been steady in your relationship for 10 years more.
We've been away for a while though, like.
But when you were young,
For-
like
but
like college and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like I've been in and out of this relationship. So there's a lot of shit to account for. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of gaps in the history to account for.
And I think
So-
that's what makes it harder
Yeah.
to like figure out like in a situation like that where there's like been more back and forth, the boundaries are a little ambiguous. Like they're
Right.
like it's less clear because like there's more nuance to the situations in these friendships and there's relationships that you guys had when you guys weren't together. But like for me, I know like I have both situations, right? Like I have guy friends that to me I'm just like, yo, like it's just like a homie. Like I would never like get with him like that. Like you know what I mean? But like when like in conversation, like there's always like some type of like innuendo slipped in there. I'm like, do I like do I you know what I mean? Like like everything was going fine and then like he said something crazy. Like
Right.
do I just like laugh it off or like brush it off, act like I didn't notice it, or do I say something to him?
I bet that's so uncomfortable.
Like it's so uncomfortable because I'm just like I really want to be your friend.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, I'm sure it's hard, but I think you should kind of address it though. No?
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to handle things is to be like, you know that this is like only this, right?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure. And like with
Communication, yeah.
I'm
Communication's
thinking of
key.
like a person in particular. Like I always be like, yo, like you know this is the situation. Like we can never, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're just homies. Like we shoot the shit. And like I would use like that person
Yeah.
to like kind of be like to talk shit about somebody else.
Right.
Like that. Like he also knew. And like knew I liked or whatever, so like I would use him, but then he would use that to be like, oh, like I don't even know you're messing with him. Like I'd be like so much better. Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
So he has
So I'm just
intentions
like,
of.
dang.
Yeah.
But then I also have like a legit platonic friend.
Yeah.
Who we've never even like looked at each other like that. He's never ever tried me in that way. He's been around my family, like take him like to family gatherings, like.
So
You know,
with
like-
that friend, just
Yeah.
asking real quick, like, what makes him not a good candidate?
Like
Would
we're
you have-
just not each other's types. Like I don't feel like personality wise, like we get along. Like you know what I mean. But like physically, like in religious things and like just our upbringings, like our goal, like it just doesn't align that way to like how you would want it to align for like somebody that you're gonna get into a relationship with or be interested in. Like we just know like that wouldn't like it would never work.
Okay. Would not to say you, but like would some girls, if younger or not, but like would they toss that type of guy a treat and like not be anything serious, but you know what I mean, like throw him a kiss or you do it one night or something like that. Like I don't know. I'm sure you don't see the person that way, so you probably wouldn't. But like, do girls use that as like, hey, I want to be nice. This is actually a good friend. Like, let me do something for him.
A terrible girl.
No, like
If I was
to
a
me,
girl,
like.
I'd probably.
But why?
sleep
Like,
with
what
him.
would be
You think like
like?
a man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what would be the purpose, though? Like,
It's a good friend.
I don't
like,
know. Like,
what does anybody gain out of that other than like?
Yeah.
Now, like, we're not good friends. Like,
right.
now I've made it awkward.
It'll mess the relationship, the friend relationship up. That's like.
Like if I want to throw you a bone,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll like get you a coffee.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
in the morning, like, you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna throw you some
in my ass,
majestic
like-
pussy.
I didn't have to go that far. I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, if those type of people, because like, what if he is that type of guy that like, potentially there could be something more in the future or something, but I don't know. He's just kind of hanging on by a thread or something. That just sounds.
Some women
sounds
marry.
horrible.
Some women marry that guy. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Some don't go with the guy that shouldn't go with her. That should
Well, they do that
the
until
guy.
that guy doesn't want them anymore. Then they go with that guy.
yeah, like I don't. And again, this particular
Yeah, we don't know
very
this guy.
platonic
I'm just
Right,
friend,
right.
yeah.
Generalization.
Like I just could never. I just couldn't. Like you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, but there have been people like guys that like again, not putting all of the like fucked up shit on y'all as men. Like there are like dudes in particular, even girls in my situation where I'm like, I know we're friends. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know that. But I might throw you a bone because, like, there is, like, some type of attraction there, like, at some point. But I don't want it to go anywhere.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, you kind of just, like, test the water, like, a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? So,
And-
I'm not going to say that we don't do that also.
And there are like workable and healthy friends with benefit situations. You know what I mean?
I don't ever think that's beneficial.
There are some areas where that works though. Like I've had that when I was single. You know what I mean? Like we have this, we do this, but we know it's not going to go past what this is. You know what I mean? And
What's your sign?
I'm a Capricorn. But you know what I mean? So it's just like
So you guys can draw hard boundaries.
yeah,
You
like
can.
business people. That's what
Yes.
they say, right? But yeah, like there's workable. But who knows? Like this is my feelings, right? I'm only speaking for me. Maybe that person, people, whatever,
So-
got involved. And they were like, they hate me now
Question on
secretly.
that.
But
Question on that. So, friends with benefits. Say
Yeah.
hypothetically you were single or you know, off season or whatever. So like you have a friends with benefits. Me in my mind, like a friends with benefits is like you guys are hooking up, doing cool shit, you know. But it ain't gonna go past that. But what if you know that she's hooking up with other people too constantly? So does that like hinder your like attraction to her?
it should.
Like,
You don't want to catch
I don't
monkey
care.
pox.
What I'm saying though is like the friends with benefits is like it could go with not just you, somebody else. But like
Yeah.
I would-
So she has multiple friends,
Friends with benefits?
Yeah. So
Okay.
or should the friends with benefits be exclusive?
Nah.
You know what I mean? You can't make rules with the friends of benefits. You know what I mean? Like,
Rules
If it's
are
an
ain't no
agreement.
rules.
yeah. I mean, I guess you can, but.
But
It's
yeah, that's
up to
where
that
the
woman to
communication
adhere to
comes
that.
in.
But
And then I
like
feel
those
like,
type
yeah,
of things, you probably
you know,
have communication.
yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like if you, and you should have communication with it. But I feel like if you were to put those boundaries, she's gonna think, oh, well, he doesn't want me to see anybody else because he's gonna want something more to happen.
Isn't a girl who kind of wants friends with benefits? They are if they're hooking up with you anyways, they probably wouldn't mind a relationship.
Of course, I think,
So-
like, but
They're not just gonna be like, oh, I just want dick
yeah.
or something, so let me
Some
just
some
hook
girls
up.
maybe,
Girls,
but
I don't think so.
but I know most girls are not like. But like I'm saying, you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't put that boundary because then she's gonna think.
No, you shouldn't. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, you personally, would you be okay if she's smashing a bunch of other dudes? You're just one of them.
Well, she's just my friends with benefits. So what am I? I'm not.
So you're
I'm
saying
not her
no.
man.
So
yeah, I'm
you're
not her
saying
man.
no.
You're risking.
What am I supposed to do? I don't know. I mean, like, okay, I learned this as a like mid-20s man, right? Because before then it was kind of just free range. I'm just, hey, if I'm in the moment, I'm not gonna fucking put a condom on. Like we're in the moment type thing, right? But then, as I became a little older, you realize like, hey, you got girls that you always stay strapped up with. Friends with benefits being one of them, right? And you only go free balling in a relationship. You know what I mean? So it's if she's gonna go out there and have other men, like who am I to stop? I'm not her man.
Well, you can't
You know
stop
what I mean?
her. Like, you
I'm
can
not
have a
her man.
conversation.
Yeah.
Like
If
you
you
have.
want it or you don't want it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can say that like, oh, like, all right, well, if that's what
Right.
you're on, like, I don't want to be
Yeah.
a part of that.
Yeah,
But, like,
that's how it should be.
I feel like at
Yeah.
very least, like, you should have that decision, and then at very more least, how do you say that? Anyway, like
The
it should
utmost
just-
least.
the utmost least. Like you should have a conversation.
Yeah.
At least, like, of like, okay, like you're not the only one. I'm sleeping with other people just for like safety purposes. Like, you know what
Yes.
I mean?
Yeah.
Just so you know, so like you know that you have to
Right.
strap up and like they're not even giving you false hope that you are the only
Right.
one. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
So
communication.
like that communication, like, and then at that point you can be like, oh, in that case, like no, or like okay, cool, like we just gonna strap up every time. But I think like as responsible sexual adults, like. If you're just friends with benefits, there's no reason for you guys to lie to each
Right.
other. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? But y'all both just need to know that that's what it is. Like, you know, you Wednesday, you
Yeah,
Thursday,
exactly. Yeah.
and then I have a break, and then we do it over again.
break.
So, like,
Yeah.
so I just think it's like a conversation. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you just talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we all have autonomy. Like, we can
Right.
make that decision of if we want to
Continue
move
or-
forward.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
So- At the same time. Jinx. I'm just kidding. What's a workable platonic friendship, right? Where is it workable? It's manageable. What parameters? Because we got to get back to boundaries because we really haven't we haven't closed up the boundaries yet. But what's a workable situation? Like, I'll let you go first, but I have an idea of why I think my platonic female friends are workable.
So I like my workability is, so like I do have like a platonic male friend that I text. Like it's mostly like off some like music stuff, like right, like we send each other music. He's got a wife and children, and like we're the same age. Like we get along really well. You know, we talk about like different work things, but like it doesn't go past that. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't ever get into like a flirty situation. Like, yo, this song is fire. Like, maybe think about X, Y, and Z. Like, yo, cool. But then like I might like, not hear from him, or like he might not hear from me for like a couple weeks, like, you know, 2 weeks.
Right.
Or it's just like, you know, when we do, like, if we're like talking about music, it's like, oh, like, how's your wife? Are the kids good? Like, how's work going? And then like it just like kind of stops there. Like, it's not like a we're texting all day like type of situation. So like the workability is like, I feel like frequency, content, intention, and you just have to be able to like cut that off. And also like what Roman said, like you have to be able to like speak up and say something if things like do cross the line, like, you know what I mean? So if things like get to a place of like, ooh, like this is like not what we are usually about, like, you know what I mean? Like that made me uncomfortable when you said that. So like if, you know, I want to keep like sharing music with you, but like if you're gonna take it over here, like I can't do it. Yeah, like, whoa,
some real sexy
not
shit.
Going to get it on. And so, like the person that I told you about, like that I did sing for a little bit, like we just like didn't go well together, like, you know what I mean? I was like, we can just be friends, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like a sexual thing. Like you're a great person, like I appreciate you. You know, done things for me, like you showed me that you care, like that kind of thing. Like we just need to be friends. And every time I would tell him that, it was he wasn't accepting of that, right? So like after a while, I just had to be like, you know what? Like we just can't talk at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just have to like cut it off, because like, you know,
that's
like
the thing.
he wants something else
and that's the thing.
you.
Like once a guy,
so like
and
that's
I think
a
maybe
workaround.
maybe for women too. I don't know, but for guys, like if you've gotten the pussy, right? If you've got the pussy, you fucked this girl, it's hard to just be friends with her. Like it's manageable. You can do it if she puts that boundary, because ultimately it's the woman who puts the boundary. You know what I mean? But in the back of that guy's mind is like, well, if she gives it up again, I'm gonna take it again for sure. You know what I mean? Where a girl could be like, if the guy the situation we were talking about earlier, like let's say a girl is friends with a guy that she had like a couple hookups with or whatever, right? Like if he is coming at her and he's like, yo, I was just thinking about like this time we did that, she could put the halt to that. I'm in a relationship. Like women have that. Yeah. They can make those parameters, right? But a guy, I know, but a guy's gonna be like, it's not easy for a guy who's already gotten the girl, like who's already had the girl, who's already slept with the girl. Like if a girl you've already slept with gives you the opportunity, you're gonna at least think about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why, like in a workable platonic male-female friendship, I'm only gonna be platonic friends with a female that I've not slept with. You know what I mean? Because I can't invite a girl that I've been with physically into my life, because if the opportunity presents itself, not that I'm gonna jump on it, but if the opportunity presents itself, she kind of controls that narrative. Like what if she sets me up, right? Yeah. And I've had this happen before, like not anytime recently or anything like that, but in the past, in a different relationship, a girl hit me up and she's like, hey, like I'm walking barefoot. I got, kicked out of this guy's house. We got in a bad argument. I'm like, oh shit, like where are you? Yeah. She's like, you live in so-and-so, right? I'm like, yeah, I live out here now. I'm actually like not far from there. I need a ride to Ogden. Like, okay, I got you. Like I gotta tell my girl, hey, I gotta go pick her up, this and that. You're at work, whatever. I'm gonna go take her to Ogden or whatever. Yeah. I go to pick her up and we're like halfway here and stuff like that. She's like, come in, let's smoke. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go smoke real quick. She starts trying to put the moves on me and shit. Right. And it's like, come on, don't you remember? Like, remember the time we did this, the time we did that? Yeah. And I'm like, yo, yeah. It's like, remember the time. Yeah, I love that song. But I'm like, yo, like I can't do this. But it's hard because like I've been there. I could have easily just done it. You know what I mean? But women they have control of the narrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it's different. Like
You controlled the narrative in that
I
situation.
did, but she was the one like giving it to me. I would have never went there unless she, you know what I mean, allowed that to happen, that situation to happen, right? So that's where the difference lies, right? So it would be okay in certain situations as long as she's rejecting that. But like a guy, most guys shouldn't be friends with females they've been involved with. Like some females are like, oh, I'm a cool female, I don't care, you know what I mean? But that bitch is gonna put that pussy out there for him to see how much he likes you. Because women are like that too. They're territorial like that. They're like, oh, you know, okay, let's see how much he loves this bitch. You know, remember that time, you know, she's thinking in her head like, yeah, I'm gonna throw the pussy at him, see if he's gonna catch it, because I want to see how much he actually likes this new bitch. Like women will do that shit. So it's a difference, right? But so a workable female platonic relationship for me is somebody I have not fucked, okay? Somebody that in most cases I wouldn't fuck, right? Yeah. So that's cool. And then I feel like the platonic female relationships I have, they know my girl. Like they know her, right? In Ogden Small, we all know each other anyways, but they know my girl. So it works that way too, because we can talk to each other about this person. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable having a platonic female friend that my girl doesn't know. Like lives in a different city or state, like online situation, like you were mentioning earlier. Mm-hmm. Like let's say some girl adds me, she's from, you know, California or something like that, but she likes my post or whatever, like whatever. And she's like, you know, you're super interesting, this and that. And then we should be friends, whatever. I'm not going to be friends with her.
That was way too specific.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Whatever.
I think that's more doable though.
It's doable, but out of respect, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like that's less risky than having a friend close by that probably you don't.
Yeah, but you should have those boundaries up too, right? Like what works with our platonic friendship is we have that respect for one another. She has respect for my relationship. She knows my girl. She has respect for my girl, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel with us and other people, not just you, but I think you're a respectable person, and
right.
you would let us know or let somebody know, like cut it off or something, right? You would sever. So I think that's why it works. But I don't know. But
there's certain things you shouldn't like I said, you should go to your girl first, right? Respect thing, trust thing. Like you should go to your girl first before you go to your platonic friends for certain things, because you don't want to have an Usher situation. You guys remember that old Usher song? But like, because I loved that song too. You know what's funny is I was, you know, a young kid. We were young kids when that song came out. But I would listen to the lyrics and I'm like, oh shit, like that's like hella relatable, because like I would have, you know, girlfriends in, you know, middle school, elementary school, and then I'd have a best friend, like a girl best friend. And it's true, I would run to her with my problems at that time, right? And then it's like, you know, you really do make me want to leave the one I'm with and start the new relationship, because you get me, like you understand me. I share so much with you. You know so much about me. Like, why are we not together? Type thing. It ends up being that way. Yeah. So you should have those boundaries. You should have. Look, your platonic female friend is like your second or third go-to, right? Should be your woman first. You know, your brother or your friend next, and then like platonic friends after that.
Do you think like when you're younger, listening to the Usher song, where you could take more chances when you're younger? Like you could actually leave the girl you're with for a new.
Oh yeah. There's not. Yeah,
because y'all ain't got babies.
Because now there's kids. There's a house. Car payments.
So all right.
There's a lot on the line.
All this stuff.
And then, okay, well we can wrap up, because you give your thoughts on that. What's a workable platonic
I'm just
friendship?
Thinking, like I don't have friends, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not like a workable person. But no, like shit. I think to me it's all about trust. Like if I have a friend, like you have to be. If you're a friend, you have to either be willing to, you know, like not ride or die, but like, you know, I have to trust you. With, you know, secrets, or, you know, like if something were to happen,
right?
Like family.
Yeah.
With me, like just like my wife, like she's family, so like I'd kill for her. You know,
right.
I trust. We have that bond. My family members, we have that bond. If I have a friend, like we have to have a bond. Like even if some shit did happen or whatever, I'd have to trust that, you know, there's nothing malicious out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think one thing that we didn't touch on, we don't have to like go too far into it, but like the person also has to either person has to be able to. It gets sticky when it's like, oh, I don't want to meet your girl.
Oh,
or
yeah.
like, oh, I don't
Yes.
want to be around them. Or
Right.
like, if she's there, I'm not going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, it's just difficult, like, for you, like, that person and like your person to like to get together, because then it's just like, well, that's weird. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, is that really like a friend who doesn't
Yeah.
like is like has issues with like the person that you're with?
That's
so
a
like
good-
I feel like
good
that's that's a red flag, is to like maybe that person does see you as like more.
Oh,
like,
of course.
You know what I mean?
And there's
So, like,
also like
you have to be cognizant and like
Oh, yeah.
be able to like, well, like, because if you ask like all of us like went together, like Lo knows, like if we all go hang out, I'm going, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It would be weird to her if I was like, oh, well, is Lauren gonna be
Oh,
there?
right, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, no,
Yeah.
like, you guys go ahead. Like, you know what
Right.
I mean? Like, the fuck? Like,
yeah,
what,
like what
what
do you mean? Like what's going on?
I think like we have to be cognizant of like those like signs and like those cues, like that tell us that the relationship isn't platonic,
Yeah.
even if it's on like one end.
Absolutely,
like, you know?
yeah. And where it's unhealthy, and there's people, who knows, maybe there's somebody that's going to watch this and they don't understand that they're in an unhealthy platonic relationship, right? Where it's borderline, like there's something going to happen. But if your female friend or your male friend outside of your relationship is like that, right? They don't want to go around your significant other. They want to hang out with you alone, or they want to hang out with you only doing stuff with you two, or talking about things only about you two, right? That's a sign that you shouldn't be friends with that person.
Yeah.
Like, but there's some people that don't know that.
No.
Like, that's the thing. Like, because I've been around like so many people and stuff like that, you realize a lot of people don't have that common sense to recognize some of these things,
But
right?
I think it goes both ways too. Like, cause like, and not you at all, but like, there's girls who like want to befriend someone who's, you know, in a relationship and you know get all the scoop or know the schedule.
Oh, of course,
or,
yeah.
You know, this type of stuff. So
Yeah.
it could go either way. So yeah,
Yeah, but
it is a telltale sign.
Yeah,
if
it's if
you know, to
So
keep
what's
it
Yes.
the
private.
motive of the friendship too? Like, there's,
yes,
like,
there should be a
motives.
motive of a friendship. You know what I mean?
Well, like
'Cause-
sometimes there's just like bad motives, like, oh, I'm just like gonna get to this person to like Rome said, like, get
Oh,
to
yeah.
tea about like
Yeah.
something.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like we weren't platonic friends, like we weren't like we just weren't friends at all. Like you were just using me, like type of situation. So like
I don't deal with shady people. You're not a shady person.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't think I'm or Rudy's like a shady
I
person.
don't know.
So,
I be
like,
looking
yeah.
at y'all
Slim
sideways
shady.
sometimes. I'm like, I was kidding. Just kidding.
But no,
No.
I can be. Like, yeah, I don't know.
No, but so I feel like the moral of this story is like, so there's it's nuanced, right?
Yeah.
So just like being able to like communicate with your partner if you have a partner.
Right.
So there's like that partner aspect. Are you with someone with platonic friends? Are you single and you only want to be platonic friends? And like, are you communicating in both of those like spaces as like a person in a relationship who wants to have a friend of the opposite sex? Are you communicating with your partner, like letting them know what's going on? If you're a single person that has a friendship with someone from the opposite sex, are you communicating clearly to that person that, hey, like this is it, and like how we were talking about, are you shutting it down if it's not, like, you know what I mean? If like you guys aren't on the same page, like it sucks, but like if you have like morals, scruples, and all that stuff, and like you really aren't trying to lead someone on or use somebody in that way, then you have to be able to just be like, that friendship wasn't worth it, like that's not really a platonic situation. And then I just think as like men and women, we just have to be able to check our egos like at the door, and just like not assume we could, or like be presumptuous to think that like this person of the opposite sex automatically wants me because by virtue of like being of the opposite sex, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like we just have to both be mature and like cognizant of that. Like I don't know what your guys' final thoughts on that are.
That's a great way to put it, you know. And if you are single and you have a platonic friend of the opposite sex, utilize them. Have them dress up and go out with you, look real good, and then they can be your wing person. I've done that. It works
Look too good,
like
then
a
you
fucking
won't be that
charm.
person.
When I was like freely single in my early 20s, I had a friend, good female friend. She was attractive and everything like that. And we'd go out, she'd be dressed up to the nines, and she would like, I would never have so much more female attention in my life. Cause like they would ask her first, like, "Oh, you here with your man?" And she's like, "Oh no, that's my best friend. Like that's my good friend. Let's go talk to him real quick. You know, I can introduce you to him." It's the best thing. So do that. Quick tip. And I'm sure it works for females too in some way or another. But
I don't know if a dude wants to come up to a guy.
no,
Yeah.
but who knows? There's guys that who knows.
Yeah.
Protection, I'm sorry.
Right.
Or dress down. Like the guy has to dress down. Then the other guys will be like, "She with that motherfucker?"
We get a lot of that. Like, she's with him. But,
Yeah.
like, you just never know. Like, personality goes a long way.
It must. I'm just kidding.
Damn. I said damn.
So we'll end it with that. Thank you so much for watching.
I hate it.
Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, and please comment. Like, yo, get the comment sections going and share the episode with friend or foe. You know what I mean? Maybe you're in a relationship right now and your partner has a platonic friend that you don't really know or you're not sure, you know, where the boundaries are. Share this episode with them.
Yes.
And your partner.
Let us know how
And maybe
it goes.
maybe we can bring the connections and be like, "Oh yeah, this is toxic."
Have a meeting
Or
of
nah,
the
don't even
minds.
worry about it. That's the meaningful advice in here.
Oh, that's hilarious. Anal fissure.